So let's talk about this whole Pokemon thing. It's been a while since I've talked about Pokemon. Obviously, as the patrons and most people in the public already know, I don't really deal in a lot of the new Pokemon products anymore. I backed out pretty significantly.
Welcome back. Another day, another Rudy video. This time 2019. Old product versus new product. Let's go.
So the thing is, I don't like to build positions, and I don't like to add investments or different type of things when the market's hot. I don't like to, when everyone's fighting for something, it's not really very attractive to me.
Well, one thing for sure is I know there's no interest in the Pokemon market right now. I mean, that would be crazy. Why would people be investing into a children's cardboard game? There's definitely no interest right now in the market and Pokemon as a whole. People aren't spending ungodly amounts of money, putting things on credit, mortgaging their houses, pulling from their 401ks. There's none of that actual inappropriate financial behavior being seen right now in the market. It's all super normal. Everyone's also hitting all their products that they're buying at MSRP. There's no way they're overpaying. The prices right now are super normal. This is normal market pricing. Everything, all the new money, all the new people. This is just, pay to play. This is the only way that you can actually participate. You either buy now or wave bye-bye, especially when you consider the products that everyone is picking up at MSRP right now. Those are all products that definitely don't have a chance of getting reprinted or having more supply come to the market. There's just... yeah, no, that's not happening either. Sounds like a super chill experience, pulling up to Target, pulling up to your LGS, and just being able to walk in, pick product right off the shelf. Super available. There's definitely no people waiting over 12 hours in line with their voodoo chairs. There's definitely no fighting that's happening. People getting stabbed, people getting shot. It's just a super normal, low-level interest market. And Rudy himself says he invests in new product.
Flashback. See, as the patrons and most people in the public already know, I don't really deal in a lot of the new Pokemon products anymore. I backed out pretty significantly.
End of flashback.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why he wouldn't be investing in hyper-modern products. What were some of those reasons, Rudy?
I used to order between, at the peak of it, I was doing 360 to 480 boxes per release. Then I started chopping it down to 240, then 120, then 60. And then the last two releases and the most recent release, I've actually scrapped it down to 0 and discontinued all further purchasing of the new Pokemon Booster Box products. Mostly because what's happening is after the product's coming out, instead of paying wholesale with distributors, wholesale distribution prices are between 75 and change, all the way up to 80 and change, depending on what distributor you use and the volume that you currently purchase with. So even at the low end of the range for spending crap tons of money, around 75 a box, it's still no longer worth it for me to purchase the boxes at that price point. Because the boom of the Pokemon Go 2015-16 era, the cool-off of 2017, and then the pretty rough 2018 of Pokemon, new product, I'm talking new product, everybody, is kind of leveled out. It's calmed down.
It was not worth what he was getting in return. And this, again, was 2019. He even talked about that in a Prismatic Evolutions video, where he was saying he essentially bought ETBs at cost and couldn't sell them because he wouldn't be making any of the money back. It definitely means people, regular people like you and me, who don't have the money to just throw at Pokemon like Rudy does, should definitely be going all in, betting everything on this market. This is the time. This is the moment. If you don't do it now, you're missing out on generational wealth. Need to remind you, this was booster boxes he was picking up. Booster boxes, not regular ETBs, not figure collections, not collection boxes, EX boxes, 3-pack blisters. No, it's just interesting to see the differences and the confidence levels of what was in 2019 and what is now in 2026 going to be the collections that retire people in their 30s. We see everyone clamoring for more ETBs, more SPCs, more blisters, more bundles, more Pokeballs, more tins. these are the only products that we're getting. They're not reprinting the booster boxes anymore. They've made that very clear. They're not printing any more booster boxes. Until we see otherwise, it cannot be ignored or believed otherwise that the Pokemon Company plans on reprinting any booster boxes. So between the entry prices for all of these ancillary products, not booster boxes, not the actual products that hold value, that accrue value, that maintain value, that grow in value, these aren't the products that we are predominantly getting right now, yet confidence has never been higher that this is multiple hundreds of thousands of people's path to success towards retirement. Investing in regular ETBs. ETBs might actually be the worst product to bank on if you are planning on investing in Pokemon. I actually can't even talk about ETBs anymore. I'm gonna crash out. I feel like I may have lost the plot a little bit, so we're just gonna go back to Rudy to get us back on track from this video.
I think there's always going to be a point in history and kind of a certain level that these things are going to maintain as they adjust upwards for inflation and demand and, of course, a lack of sealed supply.
Ah, that's right. Old product versus new product, specifically booster boxes. In this video, he was talking about some Wizards of the Coast, Jungle, Base, Space 2, and Fossil boxes that he had gotten. It's, obviously those are great examples, and the S tier examples for booster box products, but for the sake of this video, we're just going to compare, I guess, what now is considered mid-era, Sun and Moon, XY, the products that were coming out in 2018, 2019 when this video came out, compared to booster boxes that are coming out now in 2025 and 2026, and the behavior that people showcase when buying and holding these booster boxes.
I want people to know that I do firmly believe, just like others have stated, the vintage WotC wrap products is the first time I really want to just hit it on the head, is that I do think they are investable. In long term, I do think they're going to continue to show growth. With the caveat, just like Magic, in the short term, I do not expect a lot of growth. I think a lot of these collectible things with the run-up and all the YouTube channels and everybody going public, it's already affected the market, and we're in for a near-term kind of stagnant, no-return kind of 12, 24 months, and I do stand by that.
Again, not the perfect one-to-one example, considering he's talking about vintage WotC boxes, but still the theory holds when we talk about just booster boxes in general, whether it's WotC, whether it's from 2010, 2015, 2016, 2019, 2021, 2024, 2025, 2026. We do expect, as time goes on, that these will retain value and continue to go up, but with the oversaturation and all the eyeballs and all the social media and all of the TikToks and the YouTube videos, the reels, the lives, it's definitely having an impact on those short-term, what Rudy thinks should be slow and maybe even stagnant growth for the first couple of years. But we're seeing now in today's market, again, with the oversaturated markets, all the TikToks, the short attention spans, everyone is expecting that they buy the brand most newest set of Pokemon and it instantly will start going up, rather than having some more natural growth that, albeit will be slower, but nonetheless still is maintaining and growing in value. And at some point, the sealed box itself becomes the collector's item, not the actual cards that are even in the set.
I'm not a fan of the singles market at all. As everybody already knows watching this, if you crack an old vintage box of base set, whether it's first edition, shadowless, regular, unlimited, I don't care which one you do, there's no way you're going to make more than the price on the open market.
I mentioned it yesterday, but I do personally fall on the side of the sealed product is more sought after than the actual cards in the actual box. So I think this is one example where, obviously there are a lot of sets now where the top chase is more than the current box price. There are cases on both sides, so it's not just one-sided, but there are obvious examples. The most recent one is the Phantasmal Flames Charizard. That's ridiculous, 20,000 plus population 6 months in. that's selling for about $3K. Obviously, the box is not $3,000. Obviously, there are sets that don't have booster boxes where the PSA 10s of the most sought after card within the set itself are more than the actual price of the sealed product. But I think that's just more so where there's opportunity for the sealed product. Again, over time, if you do actually hold to actually see some gap closure there between what you would think the price of a sealed box is based on what the top chase is actually going for at the highest grade possible. So this is, again, there are cases on both sides. I don't know if it's necessarily wrong that there are multiple sets where the top chase is more than the sealed product. I guess I'd just continue to fall back on, I think that makes me even more bullish on sealed product long term rather than more cards where the population will only continue to go up, and inversely, the population of the sealed products that these cards that have such high value are coming from are actually only going down. They're not they're not printing Sword and Shield anymore. They're not printing XY, Sun and Moon. And I just keep coming back to how quickly the sentiment has changed on how soon after purchase, collectors, investors are straight up expecting the return on investment to just come overnight, instantaneously. They shouldn't have to wait. They've made the hard decision already just by buying.
Remember, everybody, when you get into collectibles, professionals and the real advisors who are registered brokers, advisors, dealers, this and that, and have real jobs at real firms are always going to tell you the same thing. 99% of the people who do collectibles do it because they enjoy it, and professionals in Wall Street don't consider collectibles as an asset class.
I think this is the last thing I wanted to hit on in this video that Rudy had posted, is that we even have today in this market, the advisors, registered broker dealers, all the stock market people are now actually going on TV and in other outlets and media and talking about how Pokemon is not only acknowledged as an asset class, but it is the best one out there. It outperforms all the S&P, all your NASDAQs, all your other stocks and things everyone else is invested in. So it makes me feel, I guess, more trepidatious by the day that, I mean, I'm not breaking any news here that we're in an unnatural market state, but I believe there is a lot of obliviousness that is being observed right now by a lot of people who aren't necessarily, in my mind, here because, like Rudy was just saying, enjoy collectibles. They're only here for the quick flip, for making a quick few bucks, and it's just not sustainable. We'll see how long it lasts. It's probably going to go on for another 2 years, honestly, because it's just being propped up, albeit by really poor and unnatural and bad behavior. But I mean, it's going to keep going. I don't see what's going to derail it anytime soon. I mean, even Perfect Order, Chaos Rising, and Pitch Black, 3 trash sets in a row isn't going to do anything to stop the music. It's full steam ahead until we see any signs, I guess, to believe the opposite is even remotely possible.
However you feel, I can't predict the future. I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to tell you guys what to invest in because I don't know. The best thing I can do, and the best thing I recommend for everybody watching this, is that if you have a passion for these hobbies and you're patient, these are lifelong decisions. You're supposed to take your time. This is a journey. This isn't a marathon. And you find opportunities, look for deals, take your time. If you go to local conventions and shows and Comic-Con type things or PokeCon and things, I don't think it's a real thing. But I mean, look for opportunities.
This is the last thing I actually wanted to talk about, was just overall idea of patience and how you actually navigate the market currently. Rudy was just saying PokeCons or card shows, they weren't really a thing or as prominent as they are now. There is literally a card show every weekend wherever you are. So the opportunity to hit the sell button and either take some profits or if you want to you made a decision, some time passed, you realize you want to put money elsewhere, you're allowed to take some profits, make some sales, do what you want to do with the money. It's just, again, the idea of patience. And when I think about a potential exit strategy timeline, you can artificially manipulate your timeline based on whatever your goals are by simply going further back in time. And this is what, at the beginning of the video, old products versus new products, sure, the older products are more expensive, but your time horizon is greatly reduced. And that's what I've been thinking about recently with my collection, what I want to do with it. The oldest stuff I have is Sword and Shield booster boxes, which apparently are dead money according to the internet. So it's okay if goals change, what you want to do changes. That is one of the benefits of being in a hyperbolic market that we are in right now. It's what I would say is just these opportunities that you have right now in this type of market aren't always going to be there. And if in a year or two, if something changes and you're not able to be as liquid or move around into different products or sets or eras that you want, maybe just, take a moment now to think about that rather than finding yourself thinking about it when you can't do anything. So that's going to be it. Day 2, reacting to old Rudy videos. We'll see you tomorrow.